Okay, dear friends, today I am very, very glad to be able to interview with a personality who is not just one of the best friends and supporters of the Iranian resistance. Because of years and decades actually of efforts, he has become actually one of the members of this family. At least the Iranian people and the Iranian resistance consider him one of them. He has been defending the Iranian people's rights and their freedom and their will to change the evil regime ruling in Iran. Mr. Strawn Stevenson, I would need another separate program to be able to talk about his biography and what he has done, so I will limit myself to mentioning that he has been a member of the European Parliament for years. He has been the chair of the delegation of the European Parliament in relation with Iraq. He is presently the president of IFA, the European Iraqi Freedom Association, as well as the coordinator of CIC, the campaign for Iran Change. Mr. Stevenson, thank you very much for allowing us to have part of your time for the questions that we have to ask from you.
It's a pleasure. Thanks.
Thank you very much
for inviting me.
Okay, let me start with the situation that the regime finds itself in it. Of course, the impasses and the crises that the regime faces, both in the national as well as international level, are known. What is perhaps less known, or we need more explanation on your part, please, is the efforts that the regime does trying to confront the crises that admittedly by itself have no real solution. So what does the regime do?
Well, of course, the regime now finds itself trapped in an insoluble and unsustainable economic spiral of decline. They have been pouring billions into supporting Bashar al-Assad. They have supported the popular mobilization units, the Shia militias in Iraq. They're sending $750 million every year to Hezbollah in Lebanon. They're supporting the Houthi rebels. And the result, back inside Iran, the people are starving.
That's right.
And the uprising has gone on now for almost a year. People have lost their fear of this brutal regime. They are now going out on the streets, and there is no longer, they're not prepared to be fooled that this is some kind of internal struggle between the hardliners and the moderates. On the streets, they are pointing the finger of blame at Khamenei, at Rouhani, at the leadership of the regime. They are the ones to blame. And of course, they know that their end is coming very quickly now because of this unsustainable economy. So they have to find a way of diverting attention. And they know now that the Ashrafis here in Albania with the Ashraf Free Camp, you know, they are so worried about this congregation of Ashrafis. They tried to wipe them out when they were in Ashraf in Iraq, and when they were moved to Camp Liberty. They killed 168 people in these two camps. These two, Camp Liberty was like a concentration camp.
That's right.
They wounded over 1,700 people. Many of the wounded are here now and still suffering the consequences. So they have failed in their attempts to massacre the front line of the resistance movement led by the fantastic, charismatic Mrs. Rajavi. And now they're panicking, so they are increasing their demonization campaign to try to tell the Western press, journalists who they buy with their resources, they're using their money to buy these, I call them useful idiots. And all of them are fooled into putting out absurd lies about the PMI, which of course is the regime's way of trying to hide the desperate situation that the Iranian economy is in now, and the desperate situation that they are in.
Can you tell us about other efforts perhaps that the regime has done?
Well, of course, again, we have had the situation where in June this year, there was an attempted assassination, an attempted atrocity perpetrated against the annual rally in Villepinte outside Paris. And it was a diplomat, Asadollah Assadi, from the Vienna Iranian embassy, who has been arrested and charged with handing a bomb to 2 Iranian expats and ordering them to go with a car and blow up the rally, attended by people like Rudy Giuliani, Newt Gingrich. I was there. You know, many of our brothers and sisters in the PMI were there. It would have been an atrocity on French soil. We have had more recently, another diplomat from the Iranian embassy arrested in Denmark for plotting an assassination. And yet we have our High Representative for Foreign Affairs, Federica Mogherini. She still thinks that Iran is a country that the West should be appeasing, that we should be trading with. She goes to Tehran and poses for selfies with the mullahs. She wears a headscarf to respect the misogyny of the turbaned tyrants. You know, it's unbelievable to me that we have a foreign minister for the whole of Europe who can act in this way and think that Iran is a country that we should legitimately be trading with from the European Union, rather than condemning for their brutality and for the way they oppress their own people and spread evil and spread violence across the whole Middle East.
So allow me to, instead of asking the final question, asking you for the favor of giving any message that you wish to the Iranian people who know you very well and respect what you have done. And what do you have to tell them in this stage, in this situation where you have been involved with for a very long time?
Well, all I can say is there is one missing element in my life. I have never been to Iran. I can't go because I'm on the blacklist. I want to go to Iran, and I want to go with Mrs. Rajavi and with the PMOI, and I want to see Rouhani, Khamenei, and also Maliki from Iraq in front of the European Court of Justice in The Hague, charged with crimes against humanity. They must be held accountable for what they have done. And believe me, they will be. Victory is coming, and these people better watch out.
Okay. Thank you very much for your time and for your very precious explanations.
Thank you.